Hi everyone, this is a tutorial on how to navigate some of the components on the NCES website. So the website that you want to go to is nces.ed.gov, and the quickest way to get to what you want, NCES has lots of data to go through. One of the easiest ways to get to that data is to click on Data and Tools. So I wanted to highlight 3 different sections on the data tools, although I do encourage you to go and look at different components of the data tools that you have access to. The first one is to look for public schools. This is a great way of finding out the demographics of a particular school that you had in mind. So let's say we want to look up Winslow Junior. So we would just type in Winslow Junior, and we would be able to find out, first of all, that there are 3 different Winslow Juniors, one of which is in Maine, which is the one that we want. And then what NCES produces is almost like a baseball card cheat sheet for that school. So it'll give us the school name, the ID code, the district name, the mailing address, and some interesting stats like the student-to-teacher ratio, the total number of students, whether or not it's Title I. And remember, Title I is based on free and reduced lunch schedule, so you have the number breakdown for that here, free lunch eligible and reduced price lunch eligible. You have a breakdown by race and ethnicity, enrollment by grade level, and an enrollment by gender. So typically, this is about a year behind. Notice that it says 2017 to 2018 school year behind the current stats, but it gives you fairly recent stats for a school. So let's go back a couple of pages, and we're going to look at public school districts. This is essentially the same type of search but for a school district instead. So let's type in RSU and see what happens. So notice now that we have lots of different RSUs to choose from, and we might say, you know what, I want to know about Knox County, RSU 13. So if I look that up, it'll give me an idea of where the central mailing address is. And it'll give me a locale that it's considered a remote town, the total amount of students, the total amount of salaried teachers, and the student-to-teacher ratio. It also gives me the amount of students with IEPs, individualized education programs. Typically those are given to students who have a diagnosed learning disability, and ELL students, so English language learners. So this gives us a snapshot of a specific district. Then finally, for some of you, this won't necessarily matter because you might be teaching, say, kindergarten, and kindergartners don't quite yet know if they want to attend college. But perhaps some of you are JMG coordinators, some of you teach high school. Having access to a college navigator like the one on NCES is really great. What it does is it gives you the ability to do side-by-side comparisons of schools. It gives you an idea of, you can pin things on a map, and you can look at the types of colleges that you want to go to. So if I were to type in Thomas College here, it'll give me first of all, a list. I want Waterville. And it gives me a lot of information about that. It gives me the snapshot of what it is. It's a 4-year private nonprofit, the types of degrees that it awards, the campus setting, whether or not there's campus housing, population, and student-to-faculty ratio. Again, sometimes this is about a year or 2 behind. But it also gives me lots of different options to look at, from admissions information, enrollment information, so I can see the gender breakdown, the undergraduate attendance status. I can look at tuition and fees and financial aid, the net price, and then I can look at demographics based on race, based on age. So it gives me a snapshot that can be helpful if I'm, say, advising students on which college to attend, or if I'm doing some research on my own. So there are lots of great tools on NCES. There's actually more tools on the survey tab when you first initially go on NCES, but that usually is a downloaded Excel spreadsheet, and it takes a little bit more time and effort to really unpack those data. These 3 tabs are the quickest to get a snapshot demographic look at the school that you'd be interested in.